Ah, sit your arse down, you daft bastard. 'Cause this next chapter of Kevin and Lance's idiotic adventure is going to drag you through the muck and misery of the Silver Mire. After surviving the blistering heat of the Fields of Firelight, you'd think these two clowns would have learned something, but nay, they've stumbled right into their next disaster. The haunted swamp where emotions run high, and Lady Midnight awaits to test their daft wee hearts. Kevin and Lance, fresh off nearly getting roasted alive, staggered into the eerie, mist-filled air of the Silver Mire. The heat of the firelight still clung tight their clothes, but now the air was damp and cold, the ground squelching underfoot like a soggy bog. The moon hung high in the sky, casting its silver light across the swamp, reflecting off murky pools of water that stretched as far as the eye could see. Is it just me, or does this place feel different? Lance muttered, his lousy grey hair still sticking up like he'd been electrocuted. Aye, different, Kevin replied, squinting through the mist. Different in the way you'd feel if you were walking into your own bloody funeral. The Silver Mire was thick with an energy that made their skin prickle. Nay heat, but something else. Something cold and deep. Everything felt off. The water whispered, the trees seemed to lean closer, and the moon itself looked like it was watching their every move. They'd barely stepped 5 feet in when the sound of weeping echoed through the air. "Did you hear that?" Lance whispered, his face pale as a ghost. "Aye," Kevin said, trying to hide the fact his legs were shaking. "Must be some daft bird or something." But deep down, they both knew what it was. McGinnis had warned them. This place was haunted by the spirit of Lady Midnight, a ghost whose sorrow could drown you quicker than the swamp itself. The weeping grew louder as they stumbled further into the mire. The mist thickened, wrapping around them like a shroud, and then she appeared. Her figure seemed to rise fae the very water itself. Tall, slender, draped in a gown of shimmering silver, her long hair floating like seaweed in the wind. Her eyes were dark pools of sorrow, like two endless voids of despair. "Who enters my realm?" Her voice was soft but cut through the air like a knife to the gut. Kevin and Lance froze, their knees locking up like two rusty hinges. We're just passing through, your ladyship," Kevin stammered, trying to muster some bravado but sounding more like a lad caught pinching sweeties. "Looking for some Moonvine Roots, that's all." Lady Midnight's eyes narrowed and her lips twisted into a sad smile. "Moonvine Roots? You seek the roots that only bloom under the light of sorrow?" Kevin blinked. "Aye, that's the ones. Mind pointing us in the right direction?" "Ye fool," she hissed, the mist swirling around her. "These roots are born of pain, or loss, or the deepest emotions. If you wish to find them, you must first face your own sorrow." Lance, who'd been hiding behind Kevin like a wee shite bag, piped up. "Can we nae just grab him and be off? We're kinda in a rush." But Lady Midnight shook her head, her sorrowful gaze boring into them. "Nah, you must each confront your greatest loss. Only then will the Moonvine reveal itself." The test of sorrow. The mist swirled around the pair, separating them in the heart of the Silver Mire, each man forced to face his deepest regret and sorrow. Kevin was off dealing with the memories of his old man and the loss of McGregor's pub, but Lance, well, his demons were far different. Kevin's sorrow. Kevin wandered, his mind swirled with confusion, until he found himself standing on the edge of a familiar sight. Old man McGregor's pub, well, what was left to it. The roof caved in, the windows shattered. It was a wreck, just like the day McGregor had closed it down for good. Kevin felt a lump rise in his throat. McGregor's was the first pub he'd ever gotten legless in, the first place he'd won and lost a bet. The last place he'd ever had a pint with his dad before the old man passed away. The loss hit him like a punch to the gut. "You cannae go back," a voice whispered as the pub melted away. "Your past is gone." Kevin's eyes stung with tears, but he shook his head. "Aye, but I can make new memories, you bastard. McGregor's might be gone, but the drinks keep pouring." The ground trembled, and in front of him, glistening in the moonlight, a single Moonvine root bloomed. Lance wandered alone through the thick fog, muttering under his breath, "This better nae be some shite with ghosts." As the mist cleared a bit, he found himself staring at a sight he hadn't seen in years, a crumbling football pitch, worn down and abandoned. "Oh, nah," Lance whispered, his heart sinking like a stone in a loch. He knew this place. It was the field where he'd spent his youth, booting the ball round with his mates, full of dreams and wild ambition. A figure appeared in the distance. Young, scrawny, wearing a shock of ginger hair and skinned knees, kicking a worn-out football. It was Lance. Young Lance. The lad was full of hopes, dreams, and all the things Lance had long since abandoned. The young version of himself still believed he was going to be somebody, maybe even play professionally. And here was the older, lazier Lance with a belly full of pints and a head full of regrets. "Oi!" young Lance shouted across the pitch, his voice cracking with excitement. "You gonna have a kickabout or stand there like a numpty?" Older Lance swallowed hard. This wasn't what he'd been expecting. He walked slowly towards his younger self, feeling like every step was dragging him further back through time. Young Lance grinned, full of energy and enthusiasm. "We're gonna be famous, ye ken. Play for Scotland one day, maybe even score the winning goal at Hampden Park." Older Lance looked down at his scuffed boots, remembering all the times he told himself the same thing, before life, drink, and a series of bad choices had turned those dreams to shite. "Aye, well, dreams don't always work out," Lance muttered, his voice thick with bitterness. Young Lance stopped dribbling the ball and frowned, his youthful face fallen into disappointment. "What do you mean? We've got talent. We're quick as lightning, smarter than the rest of those dafties. We could make it if we try." "Nay, lad," older Lance replied, shaking his head. "We could have made it, but I gave up. I took the easy way out, went to the pub instead of the training ground. One bad decision led to another, and here we are, just a washed up Egypt with nae future." The young version of himself looked gutted, as if his whole world had been shattered in a second. But instead of collapsing, young Lance stepped forward and kicked the ball hard, sending it sailing through the air. It landed at the feet of older Lance. "Nae future, eh?" the lad said, challenging him. "Maybe you stopped believing, but you're still here, aren't you? Prove me wrong, old man. Show me you can still run." Older Lance looked at the ball, then at his younger self, feeling a pang of regret. Maybe he had given up too easily. Maybe he still had some fight left in him. With a grunt, he kicked the ball back, hard, and then charged after it, sprinting like he had when he was a lad. For the first time in years, he felt a spark. Just a spark, of the man he used to be. Young Lance laughed, a sound full of joy and hope. "That's it, you've still got it." Older Lance wheezed, his lungs burning, but he was smiling like a dafty. "Aye, maybe I die." As the ball bounced into the mist, the football pitch began to fade, dissolving into the shadows. In its place, a moonvine root began to sprout, glowing softly in the moonlight. The awakening of the moonvine. As both men faced their sorrows, the moonvine roots bloomed, stretching up fae the muck and glowing in the pale moonlight. Kevin and Lance, emotionally battered but triumphant, staggered back to each other, each clutching a gleaming root. Lady Midnight reappeared, her face softened, her sorrow momentarily lifted. "Ye have faced your grief and proven yourselves worthy. Take the roots and go, but remember, sorrow's never far behind." Kevin, his face still wet with tears, though he'd swear it was sweat, nodded. "Aye, we'll nae forget that." Lance, still looking a wee bit shattered, muttered, "Thanks, I guess." Lady Midnight smiled faintly before fading back into the mist, leaving them standing in the eerie quiet of the Silver Mire, clutching the moonvine roots. The escape from the Silver Mire. The swamp seemed to ease its grip on them as they made their way out, the mist parting and the moonlight guiding their path. They'd survived another test, this time with the heart rather than the flesh, but the weight of their own emotions clung to them like the damp air of the mire. "We did it," Kevin muttered, wiping his face with the back of his hand. "Second ingredient down." Aye, Lance agreed, though his voice was softer than usual. But, Christ, that was rough. As they stumbled out of the Silver Mire, breathing in the fresh night air, they knew the worst was far from over. Ahead lay the misty crags of Windmere, where the wind spirits waited to test their speed and cunning. Kevin glanced up at the stars, shaking his head. This next one better not make me cry again. Lance chuckled, a weak sound in the quiet night. Aye, if we survive, we'll need to drown our sorrows in a pint. And with that, they set off, marching to their next doom, nae closer to being legends, but certainly closer to losing their minds entirely. Slanch it, ye ball bags, and dinna forget to smash that like button or I'll smash you a good one.